Hi, this is Amazing Toyin. Welcome to my series of why most investors fail in this business. The so-called investors who goes to from seminar to seminar, webinar to webinar, but from the statistics that I found, 95% of the investors never buy a single house. They never buy a single property. So, what is the cause of their failure? So, I'm going to go through this series, for each reason why these people fail. I will try to identify it. But the one I want to actually do today is the fact that most people are not trained on how to analyze property. If you don't know how to analyze the value of a house before you buy it, the chances are you're going to miss the point. Most investors are trained to buy from realtors, other investors, the so-called wholesale. To some extent, it doesn't really matter where you buy the property as long as you have your system, right? And the formula for buying as an investment really hasn't changed in the 30 years or 100 years that investors have been doing this. And the formula is very simple. You make your money when you buy real estate, right? If you're an investor or a real estate entrepreneur, I don't really like using the word investor because if you're an investor, it means you already have money and you're investing your money. If you're a real estate entrepreneur, you're just another business person, right? That is using the fundamentals of business to move ahead, create wealth for yourself. Okay, so so there's a formula. I mean, for example, Kmart, or Walmart, they have a formula for buying what they sell. Anytime they deviate from this formula, it's either deliberate, or um, somebody made a mistake. And company like that really make mistakes because they analyze before they go. So what I want to do is teach you not to make a mistake. Okay, and this is the fundamentals of success as far as real estate buying and selling is concerned. The moment you deviate from this formula, you're dead meat. It's as simple as that. You're done. Okay, and if this is your first time and you buy a property and you lose money on it, you're probably not going to go back because, like I said, once bitten, twice shy. So for today's episode, I'm going to analyze a property that they sent to me. I have this program that sends me a list of properties from Craigslist. Okay, and so they send me the list of properties that like fixers, motivated sellers and stuff like that. In addition, I also get this list of properties from other so-called investors, agents, wholesalers, and they send it to me. Oh, this is a motivated seller, Toyin. Are you interested? And so very seldom do I buy any of those properties because they are always overpriced. And so if you're a newbie, right, you get anxious. You say, oh, damn, let me grab this property before somebody buys it, right? But I look at those leads and instantly, I make a decision within 2-3 seconds of looking at them. Okay, because I use the formula and the formula has never failed me. I've done over 460 properties. Not once have I lost money in a property that I bought using this formula. The only time I lost money is when I didn't use the formula. Okay, or the formula doesn't fit and I try to force it. Okay, so I have to try to squeeze money out of the deal, whereas when I use the formula, the money just pops up. So here we go. Let me quickly show you the property. So I got this lead, right? And if you look at here, I'm going to kind of use my red pen to circle. This is the property. It's a fixer in the county of Riverside or City. Actually, it's not far from where I live. As you could tell, this property is very old. It's probably built in the 40s or and it's God knows when, right? Now, according to them, this is a simple fixer, right? It's in the city. This property is clean and needs cosmetic updates. Well, cosmetic updates, a property that was built in the forest need more than cosmetic updates. The reason is very simple. I just did a property that was built in 1945. When we got in there, we found out that, we had to change all the pipes because it was galvanized pipe. They were so corroded and the water could barely flow through it. So when you see this cosmetic updates, right, you know somebody is probably, fibbing somewhere, right? The whole front and backyard has stuff laid down and foundation is solid. Well, you don't know that until you actually go in. Selling this property to investors only, cash or hard money. Call me, right? So the moment I see this, I know it's probably being sold by another investor. So what I do is, the first thing I do is this. If you look at right here, the price, okay? So they say the price is 272, right? The rehab is 30,000, okay? And half ARV means after repair value, right? Which means if you did everything right and you fix up this property and you put it in the market, right, you will be able to sell it for 365, okay? And so that's the first thing I look at, the after repair value. So when I look at the after repair value, I immediately multiply it by 70%. So I multiply this by 0.70, okay? So 365, we're talking thousands now, right? Multiply by 0.7, that immediately gives me my ARV, new ARV, I call it new ARV, right? I mean, I call it new maximum purchase price, excuse me, max, okay? That tells me the most I can pay for this property, okay? If everything was in pristine condition, I didn't have to do anything, okay? The most I can pay for this property is $255,000, okay? So right there and then, I know I can buy this property. I don't need to look further, because if you remember, they said here, I need to spend another $30,000 to fix it, okay? Well, even before fix up, they already overpriced this property by $22,000 before I fix it. So if I now add 30,000, and when somebody tells you that you could fix a property for 30,000, if you've been in this business for a while, you will double that amount, okay? So let's just say we didn't double it, and I subtract 30,000 from this. That's 2. Okay, so my max I can pay for this property without even looking at it is max purchase price. I call it purchase price. Okay, it's $225,000. That's it. Now, most newbies will try to squeeze something out of this. They try to, call the owner, try to argue, discount the price. I don't even look at this twice. The moment I check it and I notice that, they overprice it by already 22,000. And guess what? A newbie will go and buy this property for 272, right? So let's say you buy the property for 272, okay, and you're hoping to sell it for 365. You will never make money, right? And the reason I know you will make money is very simple. Let me show you why you will make money. Okay, let's just go here. The cost of selling any property. Well, first of all, you have the cost of buying, right? For newbies, even when you're using your own money, people say, well, what if you use your own cash? It doesn't matter whether you use your money, use hard money lender, everything has a cost. Because if you take your money that is earning 10, 12%, and you not put it in property, well, you better be earning the same amount or more, right? So if you get a hard money lender, okay, it costs you, from my point of view, I found out it costs at least 5%, 5 to 6% to buy a property in terms of loans, appraisals, escrow, stuff like that. So let's say you can even try to sell this property, okay? Let's say after you fix it up, you could sell it for 365. Okay. Now, you bought it for 272. That's the price they want, right? You have a 5% cost of buying it. Okay. So 272, 5%. Okay. So you already have $14,000. So we're going to be subtracting all of this. Okay. $14,000 in the cost of buying it, right? You have $30,000 in fixing up. 30,000 in fix up, right? you have at least 5% holding, right? So that's another $14,000 holding. That's if you hold it for a minimum of 3 months. Okay, if you go more than 3 months, you go into 4, 5, 6 months. Okay, that could be higher. Then you have at least 10% the cost of selling. Okay, 10% cost of selling. So and this is, you're going to sell it for 36,000, so 10% of this is 36. Okay, so now let's look at all this. So you have 365. Okay, we subtract 14,000, then you subtract 30,000, subtract another 14,000, subtract 36,000. Oh no, excuse me. So 365,000. First of all, let me actually just total all this. She's got, so 14,000 minus 14,000, then 30,000, then 14,000, and then 36,000. Okay, so when you subtract all this, you end up at 271. Okay, so now remember, you bought this property for 272. That's what you pay for the property. Now you see, going in, or if you made a mistake of buying this property, you're going to end up with $1,000 loss if you're lucky, right? Any property that I buy, I must make $40,000. Okay, so if my goal is to make $40,000, okay, it's very simple and obvious to me that I will never buy a property like this. But a newbie will go and buy it, and then they will lose money, and I will say, well, real estate doesn't work, right? So now look, compare this. Let's say I, as an investor, bought this property now for 225, right? I pay 225 for the property. Okay, and we have all the same formula. Okay, so at the end, if you had followed this formula, right, you will have paid 225 for this property. Okay, and so your net profit will have been 272 minus 225. Okay, so that's 7 right there. 2 from 6, 47. Okay, an experienced investor will have made $47,000 on this property. Okay, a newbie will lose $1,000. That's a loss. Okay, and here an experienced investor will profit by $47,000. Now you see why you need some kind of experience. You need somebody holding your hand to access all this. And this is if everything works right, the way you intended it to work. If it doesn't, right, this 47,000 will start going down, down, down. And if you're lucky, you might even get down to this. I mean, if you're unlucky. Okay, so that's it right there. This is amazing Toyin. And if you're a newbie, you're watching this and you want some kind of hand holding, you know, and you want help, right? Just, you know, click below or go to my website, amazingtoyin.com. Let's see right here. Let me make sure. I just woke up. I'm doing this for everyone that let's see right here. One more thing. Okay, so you know, just go to my website, amazingtoyin.com. You know, send me email. You know, click and you could attend my free webinar. I actually have a free webinar where you can bring your questions. I hold this webinar every once in a while. Just bring all your questions. You know, if you subscribe to my regular email or my regular newsletter, You could bring your question on any day of the week, okay, when it pertains to real estate, and I will try to answer them for you, because I've done over 460 properties, and each property is unique. Each property has its own, innuendos, right? Each property has its own problem, and the only reason I've been successful in this buying and selling is because I focus on solving problems. I don't buy properties because I like it or it looks nice in some place. It must have a problem. If the property doesn't have a problem, either the seller has a problem or the property has a problem, what is the point? Let the realtor sell that. Realtors are the people that sell properties. We, as real estate entrepreneurs, we solve problems, and when you solve a problem, you make money. Okay, this is from Amazing Toyin. It's been nice talking to you, and I hope to see you at the top. All right, bye.